Gaze upon the horrors and tell me if you can comprehend them. Look at the Hatsune Miku binder. Hey fellas, Onus here and welcome back to With a Y. And we're coming up on a pretty important anniversary come next year. And it's the 10th anniversary of the Thomas Jefferson Hatsune Miku binder image. If you're like a viewer of my channel, I don't know how you could not be familiar with this particular image. If you somehow aren't, this is Thomas Jefferson, specifically from the Hamilton musical, in a alternate universe college setting, who wears a Hatsune Miku binder. This whole thing hits like a weird cross-section of like fandom, where in like a really technical sense, it's real person fiction, because Thomas Jefferson was a historical figure in history that existed. Owned slaves, mind you. But the version that this AU is based off of is itself like a fictionalized, honestly, like Hamilton is RPF, of those historical figures. This one just like takes a lot more creative liberties with the setting that it puts these real people in. This particular one was egregious because saying Hatsune Miku binder was just like a really easy, like absurd thing to have put a guy like Thomas Jefferson in. It was actually a part of a whole set of these character profiles posted to one person's Tumblr years ago. And I thought it could be a little fun because so much distance has existed between when they first came out and now. Just taking a look back. These things have gone on to inspire more self-aware variants like the Omegaverse Donald Trump AU that was like clearly a shitpost when it was getting made, unlike this one, which was kinda unironic in its intention. We'll start with Thomas Jefferson and work our way through the cast. He, him, yeah, that's what he was in history, fair enough. But trans he, him. I do not think that is accurate to the source material. An art education major? I wonder, was Thomas Jefferson a painter? It's not impossible. Okay, he was one of the most painted men of his era, but I can't find anything on him actually making the shit himself. 5'11", 26 years old. That's how old I am right now, man. Jesus Christ, we got a lot in common, me, this guy. In their character portrait, they're wearing the infamous Hatsune Miku binder, which I'm like, that is still like the funniest fucking detail you could have added to this shit like ever. I don't really have a problem with the sentiment of somebody saying, I met God, she's black, like completely fine to me. I don't think she's real. It's just the context that it's being put in, man. This is like some 2016 era shit. Born and raised in Virginia. I'm fairly sure that's accurate, right? Yeah, he was the governor of Virginia back when it was a colony. Furry taking Japanese lessons. Fucking LARPer, dude. They speak English and French fluently already. Where did they learn the French? Did they just like have that as an elective in middle school and just kept with it? Was Virginia originally French? No, it was always English. Yeah, I don't know where the French comes from. Wait, maybe Thomas Jefferson just actually spoke French and the Japanese as the headcanon. Yeah, Thomas Jefferson was fluent in French. Okay, that's an inspired little choice. Dated Angelica Schuler before his transition. Her dad had no idea, calls her Angie, one of few who can and live. Obsessed with anime, that explains why they're taking the Japanese lessons, fair enough. Frequents Barnes & Nobles and Starbucks, and I know it's like what a lot of people shorten Starbucks to, but it's so funny to me that like, it's just the fucking actual 4-letter term for the stock. Well, looks like it's down 0.37 today, man. I'm sorry, old Jeffy, but like, I hope you didn't have a whole lot invested in there because they're not really on like an upward climb right now. Nothing crazy, at least. So naturally runs into Alexander and his ex, Angelica, a lot. Is Angelica Schuler someone Thomas Jefferson divorced in real life? There's a church named after her, I'm reading. They formed a close, lifelong friendship while Jefferson was serving as the U.S. Minister to France in the late 80s. 1780s. I've never watched Hamilton. I only know like the broad strokes of actual American founding father history. So like, this is just all very funny to me. John's former drug dealer, John Lawrence specifically, you know? Used to be addicted to cocaine, hates to recall his past. I guess that's why they're in college at a little later of an age than you'd expect. Nothing wrong with going to college, like, you know, in your late 20s as opposed to right out of fucking high school. But like, they were a crack addict and like, they're just trying to pick up the pieces now. Tattoo artist gives Peggy her first tattoo. Who's Peggy in this equation? I think there might have been more character profiles that I just couldn't find, that I just have like the main 4 that I remember seeing when they actually came out. Pretends to like jazz and classical, but is really K and J-pop trash. Yeah, man, I gotta be honest, I don't think this version of Thomas Jefferson and me would get along very well. I don't think me and the actual Thomas Jefferson would get along very well if I'm keeping it a buck. But like, listen, I like an occasional K-pop or J-pop song, but like, you gotta have a little more than that, man, right? Like a little bit, right? Flamboyant, loudmouthed, and bad at love. Alexander Hamilton did not want him to have a bracelet, but Maria makes them and she seems to like them. So, always beat Alex's Pokemon because his are genned by James. Okay, doing some actual fucking comp Pokemon controversy stuff in there is kind of of fun. But pride always drives him to rematch him. And also, Thomas Jefferson has a left wrist tat of the Triforce. Okay, let's go through the rest of these. Let's do Alexander Hamilton himself. Gender fluid, he, she, they. Fucking good for you, king, queen, monarch. Born on Nevis, Charlestown, is quick-tempered. Sleep, who's she? Con backpack and has a gift from John that has like the little fucking plush clip on from there. Runs track. Events include 400-meter dash and 1 mile, although he is flexible with what events he can do. Works at Barnes & Noble with Angelica. King track and field. Okay, man, like if you're like an athlete, you gotta be tired all the fucking goddamn time. Has a messy past he is not proud of. Can barely remember his father, but apparently looks a practical dead ringer. Unlucky, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Looking in the mirror every day and saying, I'm becoming that man. His birth name is a mystery. Is that like an actual lore tidbit of Alexander Hamilton? Like he just changed it in the middle of his life? He did not have a middle name. Okay, that was added for the sake of like the gender fluid of it all. In this one, they're a law major, which seems pretty accurate to the actual occupation of Alexander Hamilton. Got into fist fight with Thomas Jefferson after his return from France on exchange. Quoted saying, give us Lafayette now or the knockoff gets it to admissions. Volunteers around the community banned from mock trial for causing Aaron Burr a nervous meltdown. Oh, fucking K, dude. Like, just the sheer concept of an unironic college AU of, like, some of the fucking progenitors of America and all the fucking just evil shit they were doing back then, man, was fucking hilarious. Competitive gamers. Smash Bros, mainly Melee and Pokemon. I mean, yeah, what at the time, what were your options? Fucking Bayonetta-era Smash 4, Brawl, or Melee? There's, like, a really small community for 64, but everybody's playing fucking Melee until, like, Ultimate, if we're being honest. Matching bracelets with Squad. His is ectoplasm green. Legally blind, 2800 vision. Damn! Sorry. I'm sorry. That was insensitive, Mr. Alexander Hamilton. I didn't mean to go damn at how shit your eyesight is. Loves science. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Good for you. Philip Hamilton over here is gender fluid. He, she, they speaks English. 2 siblings, I believe, who are both gender fluid. You know, it definitely has happened out there, but plays violin, piano, and formerly saxophone alto. Goes by Philly Cheese. We gotta kill you. I'm sorry. We gotta kill you on the spot. I think this one might have been made by someone other than the originals. The art style feels similar, but like the way it talks about the character just feels like a little more willfully whimsical about it and self-aware. Works part-time at Starbucks, barista, bossy, a bit conceited, likes to be in charge. There was like this thing in 2016, 2017 of like, people would just say they work at Starbucks. Like if you were like writing a fictional OC, they didn't like work at a local coffee shop that was embedded in the community. They worked at the big fucking billion-dollar Washington chain. The one that like buys up property like a fucking bank. I don't really know why that was the case at the time, but whatever. Bossy, a bit conceited, likes to be in charge. As a kid, he dragged his parents out of bed to go to church. He still does. Wait, you're dragging your parents out to go to church like at your big old age, you fucking dweeb? Goddamn. President of Drama Club, rejects love confessions daily. Everyone seems to fall in love with him. Okay, dude. Closeted furry, uses nya unironically. You're gonna have to kill me in my face right now. Gun in mouth, pull the trigger. Do it for me. You need to feel responsible for this. Buys binders for needy trans youth and community. Very generous. I'm gonna be honest, I can see why in recent years we've kind of swapped, not entirely, but the word needy for the term like underprivileged or like just saying in need, because needy like makes it sound like they're like whining to you and it's like, oh, fucking fine, it'll get you off my back. Like fucking Christ, dude. It's like those trans youth, yeah, they're so fucking needy, man. They keep like fucking negging me for stuff. It's so annoying, so I just end up giving it to them because I'm so rich and it's the quickest way to make them go away. Like, it's such a mean way of interpreting that. Here you have John Lawrence, Revolutionary War hero, imagined as a loving parent, you know, good for them. Music theory major, and you have a kid going to college, and you plan to be able to pay to raise them on a fucking music theory degree? Oh, fuck, dude, that kid is gonna grow up poor! Spanish, English, and French. You're getting gritty, man. You don't need to know that many languages. That's fucked up. 6'2", 24 years old. I don't like anybody who is shorter than me. And this person is shorter than me by, like, many miles. Born in Dominican Republic, single father, works as a mechanic, part-time handyman for the Schulers. His daughter, Frances, is 8 months old, has ADHD and general anxiety disorder. His overt friendliness is a cover for his insecurities, and this version of John Lorenz is just hogging that tech to him all by himself. If radical extroversion is a cure to at least the outward symptoms of insecurity and GAD, would be super fucking useful if it worked across the board. Charles Lee is terrified of him, and John has no idea. What did Charles Lee do in history again? I guess he disrespected him George Washington at one point. I don't know. Is on good terms with his ex-wife, Martha. Is Martha doing anything to help raise the child they had together? Because apparently this person is taking them to classes with them. Formerly attended and played football for Clemson before transferring to King's. Childhood friends with Alexander, therefore he's one of the few who knows their dead name. Wait, I thought Alexander Hamilton had an unknowable birth name. I thought like that was just off the tape. My understanding of this world is completely shot now, man. My immersion's destroyed. It's toast. Started a cappella group with Alexander, Hercules, and Lafayette. The Revolution. Ah, so they just LARP being the founding fathers in this universe. They aren't actually the founding fathers. You know, that would have to be like really fucking weird. Like a bunch of people have the same names as you and your friends from like 300 years ago, and it's like, yeah, we all live in the country that they founded now. Reconnected with Alexander when Alex started his first year at King's. Stoner, has smoked cigarettes since age 12. Found his mom's and has smoked since. Often jokes that people are friends with him just for his mom. Eleanor is hilarious. On that note, he's super tight with his mom and is never the same after her passing. Yeah, these are like not as explosively ridiculous as like the Thomas Jefferson one on its own, because outside of maybe Hamilton, he has the most recognizable name and has the most hilarious inclusions on what their character wears and like has going on. If this video does well and you guys like to see it, I think I could have some fun going over like the more ironic one, like the fucking Donald Trump alpha drawing. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Nicknames Trumpy Bear, and only Joe Biden's allowed to call him that. We can pick that up on another day. That's all I got. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at @withany. That email's in the description if you guys want to send me any video topics. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Anyways, piss off.